Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Malibu Pacific Church podcast on this beautiful day. Whatever day you're listening to, it's a beautiful day. Because it's Malibu, baby.
It's beautiful here.
It totally is. We got me, Joel, and
Andy.
Man, kickoff to Be Rich happened this weekend.
Yeah, great Sunday.
Oh,
it was
my
really
gosh,
good.
yes,
Yeah, a lot of energy here. Loved it.
Tons of energy and tons of people.
I know.
That was wild, man. Both services.
Thank you for inviting your friends.
Absolutely.
Word's out because of you.
It totally is. And so this is our fourth year now.
That's right. That's right.
Doing Be Rich.
That's right. Our fourth one. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seems like just yesterday we were doing.
Yeah, the first 3 years we've collected. It's interesting. We asked for $39.95, and we actually collected $39,000, split between the 3 years. So 1 year $8,000, another 14. I don't know what the number breakdown was, but it equaled to $39,000. So that was
so good.
Interesting. Thank you for your generosity in making that happen.
That is huge. Thank you, Malibu Pacific Church. All right, so we are in this first week again. Give, and we do serve, we do love.
That's right.
And out of these 4 years, which one has been your favorite so far?
Oh,
do you remember?
I don't know. I just love the whole month is my favorite time. It's just my favorite month. Yeah, when we do the whole thing.
I love that.
Because it's just a boost in the arm for the church that we're actually putting into practice, generosity, serving, and loving our community. And we're going to actually put that into practice. And we say it's a wave of generosity that we're pouring out into the community. So the entire month is just great.
It totally is.
It's a boost in the arm for the church because we love to give, serve, and love, but also the community really feels it as well.
Absolutely.
They just are so receptive to it.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to the message yet, this past week, we did this thing at the very end, $39.95, and you were just mentioning that, where we are asking for 100% participation. So if you haven't given that $39.95 yet, we would love for you to do that.
Still time to do that, everybody.
Still time.
Yep.
Still time. Because it's going to 2 really amazing places. You want to share what those places are?
Yeah, well, maybe you can help me because
I will.
Joel and Shannon were a part of it and know the schools very well. We're all the proceeds, 100%, are going to Webster Elementary and to Malibu Elementary out of Point Doom. So you help me out.
Absolutely.
You spend a lot of time volunteering. Your kids are at Webster.
We're at Webster. Yeah, we spend a couple hours a week, if not more, volunteering our times in the classrooms. I get to MC and DJ, get to park cars. I don't know, just a lot of very fun things.
That's awesome.
And we just love Webster. We actually volunteer there so much. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but we got the Volunteer Leadership Award last year at the special breakfast. It was all about me and my wife, Shannon. So we're kind of big deals, you know? I don't know if you know that.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah. They have a table for me in the cafeteria.
No, I know. Well, it's kind of hard to...
Well, here's this piece of paper I got.
Yeah, I have a piece of...
They had a breakfast for me. No.
I'm a pretty big deal.
Totally. But we love Webster. And when we were in our missions meetings talking about who are we going to sponsor this year, it was like a no-brainer. It was just, what about the schools? What about the elementary schools? Because teachers are paying out of pocket for their own supplies. On top of that, they run at a deficit at the beginning of the year and ask parents to fundraise as well.
I didn't know this.
So the PTA needs to raise around $250,000 a year because there's no aids. Are not taken into account. No security, no playground aids or visual things like that. And they get PE only 2 or 3 days out of the week now because there's no full-time PE. So they are raising money to literally keep the lights on. To have enough ratio of adults to students.
So we just thought this is a need in our community. It's for our families and for the kids, and why not help our local elementary schools? So that teachers don't have to have out of pocket any of those things.
Absolutely. When I mentioned it to both the Webster and Malibu Elementary that the church wanted to do that we chose to fundraise, their minds were completely blown. Their first thing was that just you and Shannon pulling strings? And I said, absolutely not.
We were very political. We were actually conniving, and we made people do it at the board.
Exactly. No, it was just this organic thing, and it was really exciting just to tell them because they're legitimately, their minds were blown. Like our Webster PTA president, I sent it to her a couple weeks ago, and she said, why would you guys do that? And you know what my response was?
What?
Because that's what the church does.
Yeah. We want to help.
Exactly.
We're for you. We're for Malibu.
Yep.
That's so good.
She does attend a different church here in Malibu, but I'm pretty sure we'll get here on a Sunday.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. That's the point is just
exactly.
No, it's not because they are Christians or not Christians or whatever. It's not because they attend our church or not. No, the idea is just it's a school.
Yeah.
It's our local school, and we want to help the kids there.
Yeah.
So
we are for Malibu.
For Malibu. That's right.
Yeah. I love
so good.
That. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you for everybody's generosity, because I know that this $39.95 is going to go very, very far in these schools that are penny pinching and still running at a deficit. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
And there is still time to give. So whenever you hear this, you can go online, I think, Joel, to the give page, or is there a Be Rich page?
You can go to the give page, so /give, or you can click on that forward button on the website or on the app if you have the app, or you can click the Be Rich part on the front of the webpage. It'll take you straight to the giving portion as well. So again, thank you. My kids thank you as well. It's their homeschool too.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you. Okay, so sermon time. Man, I laugh very hard when you start talking about I see rich people. It reminds me of Sixth Sense of I see dead people. But did you know, and you have a list, did you know that people who are rich have this thing that keeps their food cold, and they have leftovers in it that they throw away? And I sit there because
we've heard about those people.
Your mind is going to be blown. Your mind is going to be blown. I love watching just that reaction of people, because you've used that bit before, and it's part of it. And I personally just love it. I really do, because when you get to they have a car, and you won't believe this, they have a house for their car. Like everybody's at that moment, it turns from this because it's brilliant. Number one, it's brilliant because we really are so rich where we are.
If you're an American,
yes.
Just a little side note, took a friend from visiting from Ghana, West Africa, and we were driving around and showing him the city that we were living in. I says, this is the poor area of town. And he looked at me and he goes, poor area? Every single one of the poor houses, and it was the lower income area, there were 2 cars parked in front of every house. He said, they have a house.
Yeah.
And they have 2 cars in front of the house. He goes, let me show you poverty in Africa. We're talking, living in a cardboard dirt floor with literally nothing.
With nothing.
So for him, that was like extreme wealth.
For sure.
So if you're an American, I know there's poverty here. I know we have homelessness.
Yes.
We support Union Rescue Mission. There's 87,000 homeless in Skid Row, and we are involved. We have quite a few people involved in it. We get it. I'm not.
Yeah. We've been talking about it this Sunday.
Yeah, we are actually talking about it this Sunday. So not demeaning that, but we have taken some hits because when you use the word rich, well, that's not me, or I'm offended by that, or don't call me that.
Yeah.
So it is meant to make fun of us a little bit. We are.
Yeah.
So let's call it what it is. We most of us, I would just say.
Yeah.
Well, sitting in the audience are.
I totally agree. I mean, we even have HVAC running while we're listening to the sermon.
Right.
We're while looking at the ocean.
While we're looking at the ocean.
We're not doing terrible.
We don't. The problem is we don't feel rich.
Ooh.
Versus what we actually have. And we have a tendency to spend everything that we get. So when, I was in college or my first job, I was making $19,000 a year. Well, guess what? I spent all 19. I kept thinking if I had 40,000, that would get me out of this, double my income. Well, when I made 40, spent all 40.
Yeah.
When you make whatever amount, we do have a tendency to spend everything we get.
Yes.
And there's the problem. So we don't ever feel rich. But we are.
Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think people they would probably lean into that? Because when you mention those words of you probably don't think you're rich, I would say probably 98% of people in here would probably I would assume, be like, yeah, I don't think I am.
I don't think I am. No.
Actually, you know what? I would even say it's higher than 98%, to be honest. Because
they're all looking at me funny.
Yeah,
like, no, that's not me.
That's not me.
Well, let's clarify what rich is then.
Exactly.
So that's just it. Yeah, because we don't feel rich. We spend everything we got.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Are we just are we trying to live in the moment to satisfy something that, you know, that we're constantly searching for? Because I'll tell you what, every time where I feel like, oh, this is a complete level up, this is going to, you know, fix this thing, then it happens and it's like, that was cool, but that doesn't fix everything.
That's
you know,
right.
like I recently went on a trip to Hawaii. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most refreshing. It was really refreshing. It was phenomenal. But when I came back, I was like, oh my gosh, we're coming back to Malibu. And life is really good here. Life is really good there. It's just, it's funny to me that we constantly, I don't know, at least for me, constantly search. So like, what's the next greatest thing? You know, when I know that God is the greatest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot to that question, and an answer is huge, but this is just me talking here. I think we as Americans, but it's in every human being, but we have really been predisposed to a dopamine hit. I mean, I think we want to get a high. I think we want to feel a rush of purchasing something. I think Amazon, and no knock on Amazon, God bless them, they're taking over the world, but there is a rush, there is a dopamine hit.
Totally.
When you press, you know, buy.
Yep.
And it will be at my house tomorrow. So our American society and culture, it is materialistic. It is an idol that we have. And so, yeah, when I take teams to other countries on a missions team, I just came back from Cambodia, or spent a little bit of time in Ghana, West Africa. All of the missions team were extremely surprised at how happy the poor kids are and how happy they are when we go into a poor little village and they have nothing.
Yeah.
And they are happy.
Yeah.
So completely confused all the Americans. It's amazing. And there's a sense of surrender for them. Materialism isn't where we get our joy, so they've let that go.
Yeah.
But we're still like thinking, well, if I have something, then I'm going to be happy. And you go to Ghana, West Africa with these kids, you know, happy and people, and they're just people who are just happy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't depend on materialism for our happiness.
Totally.
And we don't need it.
Yeah. And I feel like
shocks us. You know, what?
I also feel like Americans have been using materialism to try and find community as well. Like if I were to have this thing, then I can talk about this thing or share this thing.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
And so I've had a lot of friends that are like, oh, I can't hang out until, you know, I purchase my new boat, and then I'll have time, and then we can hang out. And I was like,
that's good.
I just want to go get a cup of coffee, man. That's it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Or if I get this, I'll be happy, and not just happy, but I'll have more time, or I'll be able to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really good.
Exactly.
That's good. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I love Be Rich, is because command those who are rich. 1 Timothy 6, 17. So if you're looking that passage up, to do these things, because the definition of rich, if you heard from Sunday, is you have extra. Rich people have extra.
Yep.
So Paul is talking through this young pastor named Timothy to talk to the people in the church. Well, there's a segment in that society who are rich. Well, who's that? Well, the ones that have extra.
Yeah.
Because they're not being rich, not behaving like rich people would.
Yeah.
So actually that passage is for all those of us. And I love the beginning. It's like, I was a bit emphatic on Sunday because I just wanted to be, this is the spirit of the passage is command them. I mean, talk to them, grab their shoulders, come on, wake up, you know?
Yes.
You are rich, and how you're not being rich, because rich people have certain behaviors. They're generous, and they have good deeds because they have extra time.
Yeah.
Generous, rich people have extra. So you have extra time and you have extra money. So be strategic. The definition of generous is people who are strategic. They think ahead. what made them successful is they had a budget and they planned and they were purposeful in their investments. And so everything that you did with your business or to help you be successful is also have the same strategy for your extra.
Yeah.
And rich people are strategic even with their extra.
Yeah.
And so it's good. Yeah. Be emphatic. Talk to them. I mean, come on, get in their face a little bit, wake up. Mm-hmm. I think Paul is saying that because Jesus talked more about money than any other subject.
Yep.
So Paul is actually picking up on all of Jesus's teaching. Jesus spoke more about, the word isn't money, it's actually stuff in the New Testament. And then he's making an application. Okay, Jesus talked about all our money and how important it is to be generous. All right, let me make it real practical. Command those people, because Jesus was emphatic that your wealth is even keeping you from going into heaven.
Yeah,
because you're depending more on it, and it's easy to do that than trusting in who Jesus is for our salvation.
Yeah.
What rich people, that's all of us, will have a tendency to put our hope, that's actually, I think, verse 20, be careful in not putting your hope into these things, but put your hope in Christ.
Yeah.
Because money has a way of moving our hearts towards that thing that we've purchased or get, and my hope now is in them, and God is a jealous God, saying, no, don't put your hope in that. It comes and it goes.
Yeah.
Verse 20, put your hope in God.
Yeah.
So Paul, through Timothy talking to the church, it isn't even about the money. It's where your treasure is, there your heart is. So be careful where you're putting your hope. Hey, God's going, thou shalt not have any other gods. Don't put your hope in that stuff. Keep your hope on me.
Yep.
So when you give towards God, our heart or our hope goes towards God.
Yep.
So Jesus is saying, the Apostle Paul is saying, we need to talk about our money. Now let's put it into practice, because on Sunday, what happened? When people gave $39.95, probably should have said this at the end, their hope, their trust went towards God this weekend.
Absolutely.
It was a God moment.
Absolutely.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Yes. And they saw a greater need than themselves.
Oh, there you go.
Which is really awesome. I love Be Rich. I think this is one of, when you said that on Sunday, it's like, this is one of my favorite times of the season. I was like, actually, it's my second, because Christmas. But,
we know that. But that starts in July for Joel.
Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. Once July hits, man, 4th of July, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas time.
Let's go. No, but it's just really sweet because it goes into Christmas time. It just reminds you. It's a beautiful setup.
Yeah.
It's not about us, let's be rich together.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to be going into session number 2 of Be Rich.
Don't miss it.
Serve, love. This is the serve aspect, and we have a couple of things for people to serve at this Sunday, which is really exciting. And you'll hear more about that. Check your email this week to sign up to serve somewhere for an hour or two. It's going to be really, really, really awesome. So you're going to hear a message, but then you're actually going to just put it into practice like you did this last week too.
That's right.
Boom, boom, boom. It's going to be great. Andy, thank you for another amazing Sunday. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys this Sunday, 9:30, 11 o'clock, and online here at Malibu Pacific Church. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, and share this podcast with a friend, and share the sermon as well with somebody who needs to hear it. Again, thank you again for tuning into the podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
God bless. Take care.